Welcome to STL City Showdown. I'm AJ, and joined with me today is Steve. Hey, Steve, how's it going today?
Well, it's Father's Day, so to everyone out there, happy Father's Day. If you celebrate, partake, if you will. No matter what kind of father you are, if you are responsible for any other living creature or any other inanimate object that you got to make sure that doesn't fall off the face of the earth, you are a father, so happy Father's Day to you. I'm not really sure about the match. I'm not really sure how to feel right now because, there's an old kind of disgusting saying that when things end in a tie, it's like kissing your sister. You can have fun, but really nothing really comes of it. And I kind of feel like that's where we are as a team right now is like, yeah, it felt good. Like, I don't know about you, but when we went up 1-0, I'm like, going to give it up. Well, it took like a couple minutes for it to happen again. So it ended with a draw. But I wonder how many draws we've had this year where we drew from a losing position as opposed to a draw from a winning position. We're used to giving up the wins, but we're not used to clawing back. So that's kind of how I'm feeling. How are you on this beautiful St. Louis day?
Hey, this is a great day. I'm looking outside. Of course, I'm stuck indoors right now, right? It looks great out there. It looks like it's going to be a great day. I'm going to go over to my sister's. The family's going to get together. We're going to have nice little Father's Day. So kind of like what Steve said, happy Father's Day to you guys out there. I guess according to Steve's definition, since I got cats, I do care for them.
Dad, bro.
So that's something, right? The crazy cat dad.
Shit, I got this little bitty little bitty critter here. If I didn't have kids, I'm this little critter's dad. So, yeah. Labels are weird. All right, so let's talk about this match. As a teacher, we're getting into a summer break. Everyone's kind of relaxing, but I think it's time. We got to go back to school. We got to bring kids back. It's year-round school, baby. We got to bring kids back. So our first game of today is going to be grades. So let's talk about grades. So what we're going to do for this is AJ and I both are going to assess a person, a part of the team, a inanimate object from this match for each grade level, A, B, C, D, and F. So I'll go first since I'm the one yapping. I think we might agree on our A. And
absolutely.
For me, and if you're at home, kind of play along. I think for me, my A is Klaus. It's got to be Klaus. What do you think?
Yeah. It's got to be Klaus.
Yeah.
Everybody online is talking about Klaus, and for good reason.
Finally, a good reason.
Finally. The question, Steve, I have for you is, was this just something of the tipping point? Because it did feel like a lot of times this season, Klaus was getting into position, but just not finishing. Was this just that finally you flipped the coin and finally it flipped to tails, as you called it, and it was just luck that this happened? Or was this kind of skill shining through? Or was this just Critchley's system as opposed to Olaf's, whatever that was,
right,
that prevented him? What do you think?
I think a lot of it is feeling confident in his ability again. Like, you mentioned Olaf's, whatever that was, system. It was heavily defensive. We really did not focus on moving the ball forward, and now we're starting to again. So is this going to be moving forward what we do, like an actual offense? Now, I can say it's easy to score against the other worst team in the league. He had a hat trick, which is why I'm wearing this hat. Like, we actually had a hat trick. It's the first hat trick in city history, and that's pretty cool.
That's crazy.
I'll give the first one, his first goal, to a really pathetic goalie. Their goalkeeper is really bad this year. So I would give the first one to that. It's just luck, but he had to put the ball there. And you said it right. How many times for the last 2.5 seasons have we been discussing Klaus was this close? Klaus was this close. And now we're putting the biscuit in the basket, and let's hope that this continues that upward trend. That first season, you remember a reporter asked why Klaus was so happy after he won or something like that, and he says he doesn't want to see his mom cry. I wonder if mom is starting to kind of like wipe away her tears a little bit. So that's my impression on what happened. What about you? Do you think this is skill? This is luck? This is just a one-off? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't want to get too excited. And I actually have a goal or no goal game or later that I was going to bring up. But I don't want to get too excited yet because a few things. One, this is just one game against literally the worst team in the league. So the question is did he score just because, like you said, pathetic goalie? That first goal, by the way, if you guys don't remember, the ball like literally went through the goalie's legs. I think in hockey, that's the 5-hole, right?
Right.
Just right through the legs.
He basically nutmegged the goalie. Like, come on, that's...
Like, you can't do it. The ball got kicked directly to the goalie, and the ball went through. Like, Berkey saves that 100% of the time. Let's be honest here. So I'm not going to try to take it away because, like you said, soccer is just like hockey. You got to put the ball on net, and things happen. If it's within frame, good things can happen. So I give credit to Klaus. Like, he didn't, like, miss it big time. Like, he actually got on frame, and look what happened. Sometimes good things happen.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get too excited yet, is kind of my feeling. I'm happy. It's like finally something fun to watch. But let's not
ready
get too
I'm not ready to
yet.
be hurt. I'm not ready to be hurt yet.
Yeah.
All right. What do you have for your B? So that was our A. What do you have for your B?
Yeah, I think there's quite a few people I could put in a B, but I have to put Critchley here just because I know he's a caretaker, and I don't think he's gonna go back down to City 2 at the end of this year. That's a whole different discussion we can bring up. But the reason why I'm saying this is it was his system kind of returning back to the original City system that allowed us to score 3 goals, that allowed for a more fun game. Yes, our defense kind of sucked, and that's part of what we had set up, but I don't think it's all on the coaching there, and I'll kind of come to that once we get to our lower grades.
Yeah. Critchley's going to make another appearance in this list, so I'll save my comment on that, but I'm going to give my B to Berkey, and it's not just for alliteration. It's because he actually helped us win, or not win, but not lose this match. His expected goals faced was 3.46. So he actually saved about a half goal due to his work yesterday. And if we did not have one of the best goalies in the league, we lose this match. So this is what I'm looking at. He definitely wasn't the star player of the match. That was definitely our hat trick fella, but he was above grade, and he did a great job. So I'm gonna give my B to Berkey.
Yeah, that's a good stat. We haven't brought that one up for a while, and you don't hear about that a lot. But the expected goals faced, I like that. That's good.
Yeah, he saved his expected goals saved was like 0.46. So like he saved about a half goal more than he could have given up. So that's good. Like that was what we heard. That was what led to him being the goalkeeper of the year in 23. Was he had it was like 7 or something. Like it was amazing what he was doing. And now we might be getting back that way. So that was my B. My C. So my average grade is for Critchley. And that is because it looks like we are pulling ourselves out of the doldrums. We didn't win. We've only had one win under him, so I'm not going to reward him with a higher grade. And I wonder how much of it is Critchley versus Lutz, that system being put back together. Because Lutz and Diego made very clear we're going back to that high press, back to our roots. And they have the ability to kind of, since he is a caretaker, to kind of massage and kind of form his coaching style. And so the fact that he's doing that and he's trusting the system and we're going back to that, that's good. The substitutions seem to be timely yesterday as well. Those seem to kind of work out. I just like these lineups, and I think we're starting to feel more confident. We're not having the oops all center backs anymore. We're having an actual balanced team again. The fact that our head coach on this list is not lower should be a good thing. You had him in a B, I had him in a C. We might be pulling up a little higher. So that's my C. What about your C?
Yeah, let's talk about your C real quick with Critchley. We brought this up pre-production, and that's our current record, which is 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 tie. I calculated this out, and if we just made an extrapolation based on only 3 games, which is not near enough to really make a judgment, but if this was a full season, we would have earned 40 for the season. Yes, I agree, that's not good enough. But guess what? Our imaginary playoff line is about 44 to 45 points. that means we're sneaking in at 8th or ninth place based on these 3 games. Obviously, it's way too early to make a judgment of how good Critchley is or how good the system is. But also think about this. Critchley's system back here, and we kind of mentioned this episode or 2 ago, is that Critchley did not get a preseason to train his players. Right. It was more of like mid-season, here, go for it. And the thing is teams get better, in my opinion, typically get better as the season goes on because they start to learn their own team systems. And it's, it's almost not even fair for Critchley to jump in halfway. Yeah. But we're here. Again. So my C is going to be Morales. And I'm actually going to give kind of a C minus. I felt like during this game, he was super porous. He didn't make an impact. He might as well, honestly, it was almost like he was red carded and not even on the field. That's what it felt like. Yeah. And I looked at FOTMob for some statistics. He did have some decent passing statistics. It said he had 93 passing, so 26 out of 28. So I'll give him credit for that. Expected assist, basically 0.01, nothing. 31 touches, passes into the final third, only 2. And tackles 1-0. He didn't really have anything. Duels, he basically was 0%. He didn't really have any. He just didn't feel impactful. And the one criticism that I would have for this game, and I'll get that in a second on my DNF, is that our midfield was super porous. LA just ran right through it, and we went instantly from our attacking third to our defending third, and there was like no resistance at all.
No, you're right, yeah. No,
so that was my...
It was a hard game to watch for sure for the midfield.
Yeah, so that was my C minus.
So in 2023, our best season, obviously, the team finished with 56 points. And so what you're saying is nowhere near as bad as last year, but, we're trying to, if we started off with our record this year, we would still be way below what we did in 23, which there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of things to say because, like, the league didn't see us. Like, we're seeing what happened with us happen with San Diego right now. San Diego is at the top of the world. They've got 33 points. They can't seemingly lose. So, like, I guess there's a parallel there. Like, could we be that good again? And I hope so. So for my D, oh my gosh, I looked, and right now I've got alliterations for B, C, and D. And I didn't mean to. My B was Berkey, my C was Critchley, and my D is defense. Our defense was just so bad yesterday. The fact that we give up a goal after goal after goal, and it took Klaus scoring 3 goals. It took a lot of shots for us to even draw that match. It's looked really porous in the back. And if you look at FOTMob scores, which we seem to really dig using, you guys should look that up too. It's an easy app to download. It's so easy to review stats on there, and the lineup stats have nice little bubbles that shows the player scores. It's really a cool app. So if you're not certain about how to find stats, that's the easy one, and it's so user friendly. But anyway, I digress. After our forwards, everyone else has like 6s and 5s, and the entire defense was, how weird is this? Our forwards had better scores than all of our defense, which seems backwards from the first 15 games of this season, where, like, if Durkin and Leuven were out there, that midfield would be the only kind of bright spots. But now we're seeing what we need for defense, and it's showing just how racked we are by injuries right now. So, like, my D is defense because it was really bad watching it, other than Berkey and some of the stuff. Like that third goal that they gave up, where you see Hebert kind of running in from the side after the goal is already scored. Like, dude, you're too late, bud. Like, where were you? And it's because that midfield was just an open door. So for me, my D was defense from what I saw. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to say, and I'm kind of mixed. I'm going to kind of give you my D and F because I kind of flipped here. It was the defense / back line. I'm going to more specifically say the back line, and then Reed. Reed specifically, I'm calling him out. And the reason why is just even at the beginning of the game, I could tell that he just seemed outmatched. Now, to be honest, the Galaxy's front line is actually super fast. They're super talented. They just don't have service, which is why they tend not to score. but they actually are pretty talented. So it was a tough assignment, to be honest, for these guys. But the problem with Reed is he probably was directly responsible for 2 goals. There was the one goal where he just lost his mark and they kind of scored in front of the net. And then the one where he just simply fell down. Like, come on. I get it. Accidents happen and stuff like that, but that's one of those things that's the last thing you can do is fall down. And I get it. Sometimes you just lose your footing, but I could have overlooked that and said, okay, sometimes bad things happen. But it just, even before that, I was writing my little notes, mental notes in this sense, that he just was overmatched. Now, some people are going to point out that Celio wasn't helping much, but that was part of the design. Like, they wanted to have more of the attack, and I'm sorry, you're a defender, you don't always need help. I mean,
right.
That's what the whole back line is for. He was just overmatched, man.
Yep. People make mistakes, people have bad days, but it's okay for us to call it out because it led to us not having an easy win. It led to LA potentially feeling better leaving with a draw, because that's the thing in MLS is those away games, you feel good if you walk away with a draw. Now, I've got a couple of goal no goals. Their fans would disagree with me on this, but shouldn't have given that up. All right, so you combined your DNF. My F is wins, because I haven't seen them. I have got to go to my record sheet and put another D or an L, which this year is a week as a D, and I just miss wins. In fact, here comes my board again. I had to change the 0 wins to a 2 weeks in a row without a win. We're at 2 weeks again.
Yeah, if you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple or something non-video, Steve, can you describe your board?
Yeah, it's just a whiteboard. It's just a teacher's whiteboard that I wrote weeks without a win. And it's almost like one of those days without an injury from a work site. I used to work in construction, so I was very familiar with those. And those, you want those numbers to go up. This, I don't. So I wrote weeks without a win. And at one point, we were up to 13 or 12. And after our win against San Jose, we got to erase that to 0. Then I go on vacation, and we lose, and now we draw. So now we're 2 weeks again without a win. It just feels so foreign from 2023. It's like we just had all those wins, and now we're just back to this non-winning culture in St. Louis, and that's not a good thing. I will say, however, that fans are hyped a little more. Before this game, tickets on SeatGeek for next week's game were in the low 40s. And now we're being pushed up back into the high 40s against Orlando coming in. So hopefully the weather stays good. We have some good news coming in about the transfer window or something, and we'll get more fans in there. We'll get that hype back up. So it's just miss wins. I just miss them.
I know. Hey, before we go to goal or no goal, I just wanted to bring up the video that Leuven released. In case you guys haven't seen it, Leuven talked about his wife's brain tumor diagnosis and essentially their faith and the role into that. Honestly, it was a really touching video. Even if you don't share their faith, it was just really lovely to see that how they're battling this diagnosis, but together. From a logistical standpoint, sometime last year she was given 1 to 2 years prognosis. So we're already a year into it. And they did say that they traveled, I think they said 4 months in Germany for certain treatments. So it definitely, even though we knew kind of what was going on, it did give us a little bit more of a window. And honestly, I know there's probably some people out there sad or complaining that Leuven hasn't been playing. Honestly, this is a freaking game. You know, it's a freaking game, and who cares? Like,
right.
This is about family and stuff like this. Like, this is something that he should do. So, if you guys haven't watched it, I would encourage you guys to watch it. Just
for sure.
It just kind of helps, I guess you could say, explain things and
right. Perspective.
You know, and the one thing that was actually kind of cool is, and I don't think he was forced to say this, but he said multiple times, you know, how he felt welcomed in St. Louis. And yeah, it was an awesome video. So,
well, nothing but the best, right? Yeah. All right. Well, you want to do a couple goal, no goals?
Absolutely, my friend.
Nice. All right. How about I start? So I went trolling on the LA Galaxy subreddit, and after every game, there are post-game boards, comment sections. And if you look on St. Louis City's, there's always a couple hundred comments, good or bad, whatever. I looked at the post-game thread on their subreddit this morning, so this is 12, 15 hours after the match. 15 comments.
Wow.
15. This team just won the cup last year. So, and I had to go to a different, because it was all just boring, so I had to go to a different thread. So here is from Key and then a series of numbers. Let's see. This person says, Klaus gave Zlatan vibes. Only one goal coming into the game. Here we go. Manta X-Ray says, highlight was the commentary. When you know you've got the worst game in the league, you might as well clown about it. Now, I didn't listen to the Apple commentary, but I think that's a good point. So, goal or no goal. If commentators are stuck doing the worst game of the league, it's okay to have fun with the presentation.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you got good commentary, they can make even the worst game interesting. And it doesn't always have to be clowning around, by the way. Like, if you just get a great color commentator that's just talking about certain statistics, bringing up unusual things or something, like, absolutely, let's make it fun. Like, what else are we doing, right? Like, the whole point of the game is to have fun watching it. So fortunately we had goals. It was raining goals left and right. But had this been a 0-0 game, then absolutely, like, commentate away and make it fun.
Yep.
As long as you're not saying absolutely stupid stuff.
Jack Buck and Mike Shannon could make the worst game just the most entertaining thing on earth. It was amazing to have those guys. I remember Jack Buck used to read like Moby Dick during really bad games, and he would read it and then have fun with the commentary. It was wild. It was just so wild. All right, what do you got?
Okay, so I have one for you, which it's just more kind of cool than anything. But Roman Berkey has registered his first career assist in today's game, thanks to secondary assist on Klaus's third goal and second half stoppage. Of course, it's a goal, right?
Yeah. Oh, of course. I don't know what I thought would have come first. Our first hat trick or Berkey getting an actual goal. Based on some of those services and some of the kicks he can do. Like, I don't know what one I would have thought. I think I would have thought the Berkey goal would have come first, but it's pretty exciting that in the first game we have a goalie getting an assist and our goalkeeper getting an assist and our first hat trick.
Do you know what's
from Klaus? It's extra special there.
You know what's actually kind of cool about this too? So give Berkey some extra credit on this. So during that, we knew that there was almost no stoppage time left, that we had to score there. According to Matt Baker, Timo was actually playing very defensive, like really close to Berkey. Berkey yells at him, no, go forward. And guess who was the header that then put the ball where Klaus could score? Timo.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So not only did Berkey give great service to get the header, but he also put the pieces in the right place. How cool is that?
Now, that's some of those, that's not going to be on a stat line. That's one of those issues, those moments where that is a special player. And that's really cool to have. And I was at a family get together, so I didn't see that. And that's really cool that you picked up on that. And that's something that's one of those intangibles, as the kids say, that Roman Berkey brings to the team. All right. This goes towards a comment you made once we knew that how much stoppage time was there. From the Galaxy subreddit, Richard the Third Leg, that's classy, says, feels like an L after getting hyped for the W. Hate to sound negative, but once that 10-minute went up, I already knew. A goal or no goal. Once that extra time was announced, you knew we were going to be getting another goal.
I don't know. I did kind of feel like we had a chance. If I have to pick, I'm just going to say goal, because I did feel like the Galaxy just wasn't playing great defense. Like you said, the goalkeeper sucks. I felt like it was possible. I'm not going to lie. If they put up 4 minutes in extra stoppage time, probably not. But 10 minutes? Holy crap, that's a lot of time.
That's an eternity.
Now, like 3 or 4 minutes of that was the cooling break.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, how was it 10 minutes? Well, don't forget about there was a cooling break. So yeah, I'd have to say goal on that.
Well, he had a couple goals, too, that are going to take time off. So I thought the 10 minutes was reasonable. I thought it was great because I had extra time to watch a soccer match. So I kind of dug that. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so on I think this Twitter, Blue Sky, one of the two, Lutz Pet Cheetah basically said, "Horrible day for the Kloss haters."
Yeah, I'll say go on that. Yeah, I'll say go on that because he took away another chance for them to kind of try to run him out of town, like the best fans in baseball, soccer edition in our town like to try to do to players. So like, I will give you a goal on that. What about you, sir?
I got to say, no goal. One
Okay.
game doesn't make a trend. It's like saying that 1 point makes a line.
Yeah.
Like you need to have a better sample size before
Okay.
we can crown Kloss, return of the Santa.
However, I'll say their saltiness is a little washed away right now. It's hard to say constantly how bad he is when he scores 3 goals. I'm with you. I'm not ready to be hurt. I'm not ready to be excited about this team, but 3 goals, first hat trick in team history. I think they're sitting down a little bit. Just how, like they're standing up with their pitchforks. They're not quite. You say sit down. We're not there yet. They're starting to lean a little bit. Their cheeks are getting near the seat, but like they're not sitting down yet. And I don't blame them. I'm not sitting down yet. But like, yeah, our pitchforks aren't as high in the sky right now.
I got to say, the one thing that's hard about soccer in particular is the fan base is very quickly moved by a single action or a single game. So, for instance, Kloss, like let's just pretend Kloss was scoring own goals, and then this game he had the hat trick. People would be like, "Oh, we need to keep Kloss.
Oh yeah, no.
He's our future striker." And I'm like, "Come on, really?"
Yeah, I don't
Or
think
same
that's
thing.
happening. Right.
He could have literally been the top scorer in the league, and if he had a bad game, people would be like,
Oh yeah.
Kloss lost it. And
Yep.
it's like, come on, guys. Like,
Yep.
so
That's
reactional.
Yeah, that's the fan side where you get over your skis over a single game. So like I think there are people that are going to be sign him for the next 5 years. He's the greatest thing on earth. And there's going to be people that are still wanting to have him have his bags packed. We're somewhere in the middle. All right. From Not Enough Fire. Again, I'm sticking around on the LA Galaxy subreddit. I want to see what these fools. They are a down team. All right. Lucky to get a draw. Peck and Paintsel missed their chances in the first half, and we got lucky to get a gift for that third goal. I smelled a collapse once they said 10 minutes at a time. All right, so goal or no goal, Peck and Paintsel cost the Galaxy that win.
Oh, I'm not going to say it cost them the win. Come on. Like, that's,
Oh, I'll say Paintsel did. Paintsel,
you think?
I think, if they would have connected
Oh, yeah.
on that
I forgot about that one.
first missed goal, that game, that's 4-3, and that game is done. That was such an easy, like as soon as they broke and you saw Paintsel had that, and then he had his guy. That's the most basic ass pass to a goal you could possibly do, and they found a way to mess it up on the road to
Good
take
point.
a 1-0 win, 1-0 lead. That probably set the tone for the rest of the match. And now you've got people saying Paintsel is great, but they're paying him $9 million a year. And he is definitely underperforming. Yes, he's fast as lightning, but like he's not doing anything. So like I think it's great. No goal for you. I'm gonna say goal for sure because like watching that was bad.
I mean, they're blaming those two, and I get it. You're right. And it's not 100% goal because even if the pass was perfect, then you still had to put it on frame. And then Berkey sometimes works magic. Let's just be honest.
Sure.
I think what was worse than that. Okay, so goal or no goal to my comment here. I feel like the goalkeeper on Kloss's first goal, the nutmeg goal,
Yeah.
was worse than that miss. Ooh, making you
I'll
think.
say it's a draw. I'll say it's a draw only because like yes, that was a really pathetic attempt by the goalkeeper, but you had Berkey hung out to dry. He was ready to defend against Paintsel. All he had to do was put a basic pass on that ball, and Peck could have scored it right there. But they didn't. They didn't. But like you've got two teams both teams are in this world where it's like nothing they do works. No matter what happens, you're just always going to miss the goal. But they found the goal 3 times because our defense is a sponge. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Fair. Aye.
You know what? Just like our team, I have nothing left right now. Oh man, we got Orlando coming in next week. Gotta hope for my daughter. Actually, on Saturday, my daughter is going to play in the City Cup for their City Futures on Saturday. So that's going to be exciting to take part in. And also
Holy
because
crap,
of the
that's
City
awesome.
Futures, she's in the City Futures Plus, which is like in the advanced of their program, and she is actually playing on the academy field across from City Park on Monday night.
Oh, wow.
So tomorrow night she's actually going to be there. They're having 2 games for the U11 and U13 there at the academy field, and so she gets to play there. So like, again, this team isn't great right now, but like the community outreach they have is unparalleled. And the fact that they're doing all this and they're having players come out. My daughter's played now with 5 professional sports players for an extended period of time. Cost me nothing as a parent. Nothing but my time.
Score.
Like, yes, and these players are all coming out and having a good time. So it's just, I will end on a good point, on a good line, that this team cares about its future. This team cares about its fans. It cares about the kids. So, like, my daughter gets to go play at City Park, essentially. And then there's going to be a little City Cup for all the kids that play. And she's going to get to meet more players there, too. So that's what I'm going to end with.
That's awesome, man.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, Steve, I guess till next week.
Let's roll. All right, boys. May have been a draw, but we are not going to end in a draw. We're going to end on top. So what you do is look for a small chair, kick that damn chair over, stomp your feet on the ground, put your fist in the air, and go, Over City, baby! Woo!